Okay, we are officially starting today's daily. Uh, ah, uh. Today is Monday. For me, it is going to be my technical second day of school. Um, I'm not looking forward to any of this. I have technically been in a class one singular time, and I already want to drop out. I am just not having it, and it is just quite annoying to me. Just kind of forced to have it. Well, not exactly forced. It's my decision, but at the same time, it's just annoying. So, but just like I don't know what I want to be saying, to be completely honest. I know I've talked about this pretty in detail in the past of my opinion about college and everything, specifically with me anyway. But like one of the big things that like just annoys me is whenever I do talk about it with others, usually when it comes to my friends, they're just like, okay, if they each have like their own thing behind it. Like my one friend Matt says, I think you should just kind of stick it out for maybe like a semester, and by the time if this next semester ends and you truly like absolutely hate it, then maybe at that point you might want to think about dropping out. Um well, he's just saying like just give it more time basically is what he's trying to say. Don't just make your decision now. Go through this, see if you can make it type deal. My sister's is basically the same where she just goes like I really think that you should go through it. It'll definitely help. If you can just push yourself through it, do it. One thing that annoys me whenever I talk about it with my mother, is because I'll tell her, and she'll go, "Well, no one likes school," and I'm just like, "Yes, but no one dislikes school as much as I do, and the few others in the world that are probably about the same." It's like I don't. What really bugs me when it comes to that is when I was younger, I remember being told a million and one times, like, well, that's them, this is you. Like, whenever there were a lot of tests that, like, my grade or my class would take, and the average for the test would be like a C minus, and I got like a D plus, or I got a C minus. And then I'd tell that to my parents to be like, well, what is this? Like, come on, Guido, you can get an A, you can get a B. Like, what is this? And like, the average in the class was a C minus. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. We're looking on your grade, not any of theirs. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, yes, I agree, but I also agree that if the average is such and such, then it's like that for a reason. Yes, it could just be that we all didn't study, but that's still a reason. Uh, but like most likely, it's not the fact that we just all didn't study; that it was just a generally hard test or something along those lines. But then nowadays, which I haven't got it from my dad at least. If I got it from my dad, then I'd be going ballistic. If he said the same thing as my mother. But nowadays, my mother's going like, "Well, everybody hates school." And I'm like, I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm talking about me. Like I truly hate school. I'm not doing what I want to be doing. I'm not doing. I'm so very distraught, I guess I should say, about like my decisions and how things are going to be going. Um, I just I'm annoyed by just classes in general and school, and it's some things that are just so stinking expensive. Dang. Off about. As I've said in the past, like what I've always wanted to do, even when I was just a wee little child, I have always wanted to, program or work on things like that. But no, I haven't been able to do that because, my first semester, they tell me two things. Like, you're behind, like, I was behind before I even began because there's a placement test that, puts you in, like, the higher or lower classes based off of your score. That I didn't realize what it was at first. I know I've talked about this in the past where I recently upgraded my test. And I have actually upgraded it twice, so then I probably nowadays wouldn't be as behind. What are you doing? Why are you taking minion damage? There's no point in doing that this early. Why did I auto the minion there? Whoa. Don't know what she's doing. What are you doing? Really? Come on. And then, I talk about with my dad, and then he always tells me, like, the regular father thing of, I just want your life to be better than mine. I just want you to be more successful. Just like, I want that too, but at the same time, I would rather not have to go through college to achieve that. What are you doing? Did I auto-attack a minion again? God, I hate you. God, you're just utter trash. Definitely without a sliver of a doubt a beginner. Gonna need to buy lifesteal or something like that just to get through this lane. Had to be a fucking Garen too. I am not in that range. What are you doing? I genuinely don't understand what she keeps doing that for. Like, why do you keep binding a minion? Do you just not know what the ability is? You clearly don't know what you're doing. Oh my god. Surprised you even know how to recall. Come on, chase me. Um. Okay, back to what I was trying to say. Well, my dad will always say, like, I just want you to have a better life than me. I don't want you to have to work as hard as me, and things like that. And I'm just like, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, this is annoying. All you had to do was just keep running. But no, for whatever reason, you decided to not.
Monsters can be made to fear.
So, but that is just like what I get from that. My other, I haven't really asked my one sister about it at all. My other friend, Adam, he is definitely more of a candidate when it comes to college and anything like that. Being like, yeah, but it really because he says the exact same thing I do whenever I talk to him about like college. I was like, yes, I want the degree, no matter what. Why did I just walk around him, game? Like, what exactly was your bright idea? And like, I'm just wondering, where he will always say like the exact same thing. I don't know what I'm wondering. Just trying to have a coherent thought while playing a game. Very difficult challenge. This person like seems so dumb. You're so dumb. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm so confused. You fucking kidding me? Um. Order turn. Okay. And like I'll say the same thing. Like you should get the degree even if you don't go in your field. It'll still help out. It's going to help out in your life at least somewhere. But then, and I agree because I do have even a few other friends, and even my sister herself, who does have a degree, but they aren't in their field at all. They still got like a higher paying job, but they just aren't in their field. Like, how did he do half of my HP? No. Um. And then my other friend, I don't really know what my other friend David has, but then I do have another friend named what's it called? Jay, who, whenever I do talk about college, when it comes to him, he's like questioning it himself whether if he should actually go back, in order to like improve his job and everything. And whenever I talk about it with him, he always like, well, I've seen a few of my friends who are insanely smart, yada yada yada, but were too like lazy to follow through with college, and because of that they missed out on like a lot of opportunity that they could have had. Sitting in a bush. And where he'll be like, I've seen like a lot of my friends not go to college just because of laziness, that they were actually really smart people, but they just didn't go because, again, like they were lazy. And I don't want you to do the same thing. And it's just, it's like I do. I honestly, I seriously, I do want to. And like I do want to keep going and continue to get an education and like improve my life. I do know that yes, it will help me in the future when it comes to finding any job, even if it's not in my field. And like I'm well aware of that, but at the same time, I want to be, happy right now and in the future. And I've always wanted to do things when it comes to like programming games, and I can't do that. I like business, but it's not really like it's something that I really care for all that much, to be completely honest. What the flip? I would never give so much movement speed in the past. Ah. So she has Rage Blade. And what the flip? And I just don't know. Yet again, same before, I just want to be gone before it even begins. And like it is upsetting to me. It's not like I enjoy hating college. It's just the simple fact that I do. I just simply hate college, and there's not really much more to it besides that. Like I just don't know what to say. Besides, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy being there. I don't enjoy having to focus on any of this hubbub that I really don't care about. I couldn't really care all that much about my grades, and then both my parents are going like, no, you need A's and B's. Well, not like I need them, but like they'll accept the C's. But at the same time, there's like, I really would prefer it if you could try a little harder and do this and that. And I'm like, I'm not trying any harder. Like, I'm sorry, but like I already hate being there alone as it is. Yet, like I am not going to be trying any harder than what I am right now. I'm just gonna tell you that right this very moment. And like they want to see higher grades. I couldn't really care all that less. My mother was like, like that's really strange to me because I said like I'm fine with going the extra mile for in like a job or something like that, of like just doing extra work if it means that you like them seeing that maybe I can be promoted, or maybe I am like a really good worker or something. I'm fine with doing the extra mile in a job. But I'm not fine with doing the extra mile for like school. I really need to get on this the 31st. Ooh. But I'm not fine with doing the extra mile for school. I just hate it too much to even fathom doing the extra mile. And she goes, that's just so odd to me because, when you're doing it for a job, you're doing it for whoever employed you. You're not doing it for yourself. You're just doing it for them. But when you are in school, you're trying to get grades for yourself. You're not trying, like, the grades only affect you. And, like, I agree, but at the same time, like, I just don't care about school, and my mentality towards it is I simply do not care about it. And it is something that is very, very annoying to myself still, even though, that is just the way it is. But yeah, so by the way, I will also probably by tomorrow or something is when I will say my entire new schedule in terms of streaming and everything like that. But yeah, because of classes, everything, I'm kind of working the schedule around a lot of different things. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching today's Daily, and I'm going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye.